Welcome to AZPM News Daily, a wrap-up of all the day's news from Arizona Public Media. I'm Steve Jess, and on this edition, construction starts on a massive new dorm project in Tucson.
The 9-story dorm, called Catalina, will house more than 1,300 students.
Arizona fights a major media merger.
Theaters may be forced to raise ticket prices, and Arizona consumers bear those costs.
And voters get a new way to turn in their last-minute ballots.
This new process bypasses the standard signature verification method.
That's ahead for this Tuesday, July 14th. Starting us off today, officials from Tucson and the University of Arizona marked a milestone in the construction of a new UA dorm. Laura Holansky has more.
Officials broke ground at the corner of Speedway and Campbell today. The 9-story dorm, called Catalina, will house more than 1,300 students, helping to fulfill the UA's goal for most first-year students to live on campus, starting this fall. University of Arizona President Suresh Garimela said the project will contribute to student success, which is his North Star.
The students have spoken. They want a different kind of, suite-type living. They want different dining options, and we want to help them thrive in these new housing opportunities.
The Catalina dorm is expected to be move-in ready by next fall. Laura Holansky, AZPM News.
The company that operates Arizona's 211 crisis hotline announced funding has been secured to keep its live operators. Arizona 211 connects people in crisis to resources and organizations for food, shelter, and more. Last month, Solari announced that Arizona 211 lost state funding and could no longer support live operator service starting in August. But a spokesperson for Governor Katie Hobbs confirmed that $2 million has been set aside to keep the live service going through early 2027. The money comes from the State Department of Economic Security's homelessness funds, as well as from the American Rescue Plan Act. Arizona is joining 11 other states on an antitrust lawsuit against Paramount. Catherine Davis-Young brings us more details from Phoenix.
Arizona is one of 12 states filing an antitrust lawsuit to block Paramount's purchase of Warner Bros. Discovery. California is leading the lawsuit, but the other states involved argue the effects of the mega merger between media companies would be felt far beyond Hollywood. Arizona Attorney General Chris Mays says the $110 billion deal would harm movie theaters and audiences.
When fewer films are available, theaters may be forced to raise ticket prices to remain viable, and Arizona consumers bear those costs.
The state's lawsuit comes after the U.S. Justice Department said it would not challenge the merger. Paramount has said it is prepared to defend the transaction in court. Catherine Davis-Young, Phoenix.
On primary election day, voters can opt for a new way to get their early ballots verified. Katya Mendoza tells us about that.
Voters who show sufficient ID, like a valid Arizona driver's license or other government-issued ID when they're dropping off their mail-in ballots, will have their identity verified on the spot. This new process bypasses the standard signature verification method, which will still be available to voters, says Jeremy George, Deputy Elections Director for Pima County.
Those ballots would go back to the recorder for signature verification and then eventually, go through to us to be processed and tabulated.
Voters must bring their ballots to any vote center by 7 p.m. on Election Day. More than 350,000 ballots were issued to Pima County voters, according to the county recorder's office. I'm Katya Mendoza, AZPM News.
Arizona Democrats are demanding answers from Homeland Security after several cases of measles were confirmed among people in ICE custody. DHS last week confirmed 7 cases among detainees at one facility and an undetermined number of cases at 2 others. Core Civic, a private company, owns those sites. Representatives Greg Stanton, Yasemin Ansari, and Adelita Grijalva, along with Senators Ruben Gallego and Mark Kelly, wrote to DHS on Monday asking what the agency is doing to contain the extremely contagious virus. They noted this is the second time this year DHS has reported measles cases in its Arizona facilities. 3 cases were reported in federal custody in the state in February. While the rain is a welcome relief from the heat, it can come with other consequences like higher rates of West Nile virus transmission. Dr. Kim Olson-Gibbs at Honor Health says Arizona frequently leads the nation for the number of cases and deaths.
Anywhere where that water can sit and stand, that's where the mosquitoes are going to breed, and that then becomes a problem. We just don't think about it here because we think we live in the desert and we don't have as much water.
To prevent infection, Olson-Gibbs recommends avoiding those areas with standing water, applying bug sprays, and covering up when mosquitoes are most active. The majority of West Nile cases lead to mild flu-like symptoms and have no long-term effects. A new income-based discount program is now available for families enrolling in Tucson Parks and Recreation's after-school program, following a recent fee increase. Thatcher Warwick-Hess has more on that.
The Tucson Mayor and City Council approved higher fees for the KidCo after-school program in June. As a result, the city introduced a new income-based discount program, which took effect July 1st to more equitably serve families. Sierra Boyer with the Tucson Parks and Recreation says the new program replaces the previous flat-rate discount with a tiered model based on household income. Families earning up to 200% of the federal poverty level qualify for larger discounts than they did under the previous system. Because of those expanded discounts, Boyer expects applications to increase this year rather than decline. Registration for the 2026 to 2027 KidCo after-school program opens July 25th. I'm Thatcher Warwick-Hess, AZPM News.
And now you're caught up on the stories we've covered today at Arizona Public Media. Thanks for listening. Subscribe to AZPM News Daily wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Steve Jess, and we'll be back tomorrow.